It's Lori with HappyNaturalHorse.com. How you doing today? Today we're going to talk about nosebleeds in horses. I've been a practitioner for equine practitioner. I've helped thousands of horses over the last 12-15 years. Wrote 2 books, How to Identify and Release Your Horse's Pain Points and Natural Equine Remedies. The only place, and I've been to tons of farms, show barns, jumper barns, hunter barns, dressage barns, reining barns, and I've never really seen a bleeder. The best place I saw my bleeders and my most worst cases were at the track. As you know, those horses get abused, really physical, demanding, okay? So, I came home from school, was going up to the track, I was doing a lot of working on horses, and I got a call, and he had this one thoroughbred filly that she couldn't even go around the pool. The pool was small, it was only like a 500-foot pool for exercise for horses. She didn't even get like 5 strokes before her nose bled. So, since I was holistic and he had tried all the avenues that the veterinarians had used, she was bleeding basically from her lungs, which they do, because if it's over strenuous, it'll make the lungs weak. And unless you give them something mineral-wise or vitamin C-wise, you're not going to strengthen those lungs. So, I gave the horse the homeopathics of, I think it was Spongy Eye. I gave him 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, which stops bleeding, and the horse swallowed it. I also gave him some ester C, which he gave the horse, and I tried to get him to cut back just the whole oats and get half the no beet pulp and no corn oil, because corn oil will block the absorption of vitamin D and vitamin K. Especially if you give a half a cup a day of corn oil, it will block the absorption, so therefore you will create a bleeder, because vitamin K is necessary for bleeding, blood to stop. So I also gave the horse trace minerals. It's from dynamiteonline.com. It is the best source to stop bleeding, but you only need to give it for 2 or 3 days. So he went ahead and he gave the cayenne pepper, didn't think the horse was going to eat it. The horse ate it, gave it the homeopathics. Did not hear from him. This horse was still a maiden special weight horse. He was a good horse. I went up to get paid 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later, only 1 pull time. I go up to get my paycheck from him to get paid for the services I gave him, and the horse was in a race, a 6.5 furlong race. I was so livid because I didn't think he had enough time for the lungs to heal, and I knew no matter how much Lasix he gave that horse was going to bleed in that race. Believe it or not, that horse ended up finishing 4th out of 10, and then raced again 3 weeks later and got 2nd, okay? He kept it on the cayenne for another 2 weeks, and then he got poo-pooed by the noise from the track people and went off, and of course the horse went downhill. Well, that day of the race, I was so livid, and back then I used to show my anger a lot. So I'm screaming at him. The horse comes back from the race. I run over to the horse, I grab its bridle, I look at its nose, and not 1 drop of blood. Not 1 drop of blood. So the recipe's here. If you have a bleeder, follow my advice and let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel and share this video with people that have thoroughbreds that bleed from the nose. Now, there's other things that could be going on, especially if it's older. It could be tumors, but usually a vet will scope it, and I've never found it. Ivermectin will cause it too. Okay? Hope that tip helps. HappyNaturalHorse.com.